options for women who want something vibrant. And I think this is going to solve an important issue for women in that area.
How is Heartsphere? We saw it on the show. What's going on? I mean, and we saw you kind of at a crossroads between your singing and Broadway and whether to commit full time. So tell me the status of all of this.
Well, we're still in. What's been good is that the Heartsphere is kind of we're still working on Heartsphere, incorporating a lot of that technology into what we're doing at Plus Body. So I think we're focused first on getting Plus Body up and out, which will happen very, very soon, probably within the next 30 days. And once we have that running smoothly, we'll return our attention to using the Heartsphere technology in a retail and kind of marketing capacity. So there's a lot happening. So when it's just a small team, we focus on Plus Body first, and then we turn our attention to Heartsphere.
And what is up with Miriam? We saw her, kind of saying she was going to, I know she struggled with maybe going back to school, but it sounded like she was going to commit full time to this opportunity.
Yeah, she's fully committed. I mean, as you see on the series with her mother, she's fully committed to her mother in general, but also I think she sees how big of an opportunity it can be. And she's such a whiz when it comes to this stuff. Like for me, I don't have a huge wealth of background when it comes to, Web3 or the metaverse. Really, my bread and butter is product and fashion. So I talk a lot about Plus Body because it's something I really comprehend and understand and feel passionate about. And the metaverse is a little bit more Miriam's territory because it's again, like old lady syndrome over here. It's just not something I understand beyond its power to really engage people, which is what we've seen across anytime we leverage the technology, whether it's through avatars or digital lookbooks or product try-ons. I mean, it's really the limitless nature, and it's constantly evolving. I mean, we even see what's going on with this. Was it GPT AI thing on social media now? It's just amazing what's happening in our world and how it's affecting creativity.
Yeah, I haven't gone down that road yet, but it's on my list of things to do.
Yes, I haven't gone and typed anything into it, but
I wasn't going to do it, and now everyone's doing it. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm kind of curious. But the metaverse to me is I don't really understand it, to be honest with you either. Certainly not the back end of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't ask me to code anything, Lord in heaven.
Where are you then, like with your singing? I mean, I know your fiance, right, it's like Broadway all the way, like, and we really kind of learned. I mean, we knew you were a singer, but we really kind of understood the full depth of that this season too, I think.
Yeah. So once we wrapped, I signed with those agents you see on the series, and we were talking about like what's the best way for me to kind of showcase the ability. So without having, because I don't have any track record. I haven't been in, usually the trajectory is you graduate college, you start, working behind the scenes, or maybe you're in chorus or you're a dancer, and then you work your way up to more exciting opportunities. As much as, I think I would probably love being like a background dancer, I don't think I've got the build or the skill. So we thought, like, let's figure out a way to showcase my ability. So for Christmas, I was booked by 54 Below to do this really fun Christmas cabaret, which I wrote, and that was a whole other, really exciting experience. And so now, having just come out of that, it re-energized me around all of this stuff. So hopefully that builds onto a next opportunity.
I saw you were at 54 Below. Did you have the opportunity to see the Countess and Friends or Countess Christmas at 54 Below? And Miss Luann was there many times. She's coming back in February if you haven't.
I would murder a baby to see Countess Luann, in full glory. I follow her on Instagram all the time, watching her her reels about the series. I need to go see it because, I mean, if I could achieve 1/10 or 1/100th of the fabulosity that is Luann de Lesseps in a cabaret, I feel like I would really have accomplished something.
It is literally everything that you are picturing in your head and more. And it's a real cabaret. It's not it's a real thing. Yeah. We also saw, are you a Housewives fan? I mean, we saw Jill Zarin make an appearance this season.
Yeah. I love Housewives. I'm more of an old school housewife. I haven't followed it in the recent 2 to 3 years, but don't get me started on the OG girls, because we could go on.
Do you love that, Julia and Jill have this new found friendship in the past, year?
I love it. I think they have a lot that they, bond over. They've been in similar situations, and I think that they just have a lot in common. And so it's been nice. And Julia's developed a lot of friendships in the last year, just to see how these incredible women like Jill, like other women, have rallied around her, because divorce is something that 50% of women go through who are married. And so I think a lot of people have, whether you're a man or a woman, having gone through a divorce, or maybe facing a divorce, you see a lot of similarities and kind of the issues. The person you marry is not the person you get divorced with, and that's across the board, no matter who you are, what you're going through. So I think a lot of people have really rallied around her, and Jill is one of them.
She really is. That's why I feel like when a divorce turns nasty, I'm like, of course it does. This is a different person,
Yeah.
Do you get starstruck? Like, I imagine, like, being good friends with Julia and being on Netflix, like, you run into a lot of people, you'll go to the Countess Cabaret and then you'll have that experience. But, like, do you get starstruck in general?
Mostly around like very campy people. I've always been in like celebrity dressing and PR around fashion, so I was always exposed to that, from day one. But anytime it's someone who's like, a camp dream of mine, whether it's like Liza or Adele or whatever, that's when like the little gay heartstrings start to get pulled and I go a little crazy.
I get it. For me, it's Madonna and Cher, so that's about as gay as Adele
Yes.
and Liza.
Yeah, I mean, show me Cher, and you'll find me like having a moment on the floor of some bathroom for sure.
I've met Cher 4 times because I flew to Vegas and put myself in the meet and greet experience. And like the third time, I just like, you met me 2 other times. Like, keep the third time, I was just in complete tears for no reason. I was just like, this is, how is this like happening? And like, I just
She's an
don't know.
icon. She's an absolute legend icon, and I'm very jealous. You've had a lot of these really fabulous experiences.
Cher is just, who are your favorite housewives? Like, do you have a favorite OG housewives from back in the
Ooh,
day?
so many. Let's think. Okay, New York. Yeah, I love a Bethany. I love. Let's think. I could always get behind a Sonia. Oh, and a Dorinda. Love me a Dorinda. And then let's see, Los Angeles. I like a bad guy. I like the villain. I like a Lisa Rinna. Erica I've always loved. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like the same ones everyone would say, but they're they're entertainers, that's for sure.
Those are definitely good ones. Where do you think the world is today? Like, I think people forget, which is such a statement to the show, that this season was so different, but like, this really began as a story of a woman who was breaking away from, an antiquated culture and the way they treat women, and just kind of finding her own and having enough sense and like strength within her. So, I mean, like, where do you think we are today? Like, there's so much that said. I mean, like, Lizzie Savetsky, who was going to be on the reboot of Roni, leaves, and there's words of anti-Semitism. You have Kanye. I mean, like, does this stuff like seep into Julia's life? Like, do you see? Because I mean, like, Lizzie, I know, says she gets like death threats and all this other stuff. Like, where's the world today? I mean, let's just bring it back to how this show all started.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because every time you feel like you've taken a meaningful step forward, we take a meaningful step backwards. I mean, never did I think, Roe v. Wade would be overturned, or that we would be seeing the level of anti-Semitism that we're seeing today through people who have so much power in the media. So I just think we have to remind ourselves every single day what it is to be human, what it is to love each other. And I think that's what a show like ours is all about. It's a family who goes through struggle, chosen family and your own family. And it's about how you get through that struggle and how you do it in a way that improves the bonds between each other. And I think we all need to like, not to like glorify us, because for sure we've got lots of problems, but I'm very lucky to be a part of, a family like that, in a situation like that, where I'm lifted up by really impressive people around me.